October 1st, 1972. Mount Panorama is drenched. Rain lashes the circuit. Visibility is low. This is Bathurst at its most unforgiving. The 13th running of the Hardie-Ferodo 500 begins not with a roar, but with a warning. Survive first. Race second. The grid is a battleground of philosophies. Ford's Phase III Falcon. Brutal, powerful, dominant in the dry. E49 Charger. Quick, agile, a dark horse. Holden's LJ Torana XU1. Light, nimble, underestimated. Among the 61 starters, one name stands out. Peter Brock. Young, confident, driving solo in the Holden dealer team Torana. No co-driver, no relief, just 500 miles of relentless concentration.
Battle of the big three is Moffat, leading at the end of lap 1. Second is French. Brock is next in the Torana. Reeds, Gibson and Cross have slipped back in their Falcon. Bond is third, then fourth. XL bent again, where you saw them come over the hump in a wall of spray. Moffat, closely followed by French. Slight gap to Brock in the first hole. Then Bond and Moore with their lights on. Goss is in sixth, Gibson seventh, then Gagan in the first Charger, West in a Falcon, then Chivers. Up the top, Bond and Moore with their lights on, now the S's, and Moffat taking it very easy. The big Falcon looks very skittish. One slight mistake and he could have a spin out. Forrest Elbow, French holding second, Brock's very close. Bond's dropping back a little, he's sliding a bit, and Moore's right on his tail. French has gone down the escape road. That lets Brock into second. Bond's third, Moore fourth. Here comes French. He must have gone down the escape road at the end of the straight. That shows you how slippery it is, because French is no mean driver. Through the cutting, second time up the mountain. Still Moffat.
Okay, fellows, we'll follow Colin Bond around this time. Stand by in the end.
From the drop of the flag, the race is chaos.
Well, we've picked up Colin Bond in the Holden dealer team Torana.
I've got him down the bottom. He's
On
coming
lap
around
3,
straight now.
Colin
This is
Bond
the man who
flips
won
his
the
Torana.
69 500 in the Monaro.
Look at Bondy.
And he's gone.
Bondy's gone.
Look.
Oh, look.
Colin Bond crashed at Reed Pass.
Stand by.
Look, he just seems to understeer straight off the track. Could be the wind. Hits the barrier. Goes onto his roof. That could be an N for N. I think he must have hit a patch of wood.
Bond gone, Holden's hopes right with Brock and Moore, and they're pushing Moffat hard as he skates the big Falcon down through the S's. Moffat at least will be glad that he's got one of the nimble Toranas off his back. Colin Bond is all right. He's coming to the pit.
Ran up on two wheels for a while, then sort of fell on its roof and just slid across the road and finally finished back on its wheels again on the other side of the road.
Situation is that you'll see there's a very good private Torana right behind Brock. So that like us, Harry's got some good fracas in the private people. The race is in very early condition. It's a shame for the opposition they should lose a car this early.
And Brock's got him, slipped through on the run down to Forest Elbow. Moore's looking for a way past too. The Falcon's definitely slower across the top where it's treacherously slippery. Moffat will pull out the stops down the straight. Now let's see who leads past the pits. Yes, it's Moffat again. He might be taking it easy up the top, but on the straight, he's giving the V8 all it's got. Up the top again, Reed Park. Brock held up by traffic a little, and Moore's gone. Must have spun somewhere. And here's French, with the foot down, now in third, out after Brock. There's Leo Gagan. According to our chart, he's up in fourth. And French has forged his way back to second. A great effort by the Ford driver. There's John Goss, back a fair way. Started in second slot, but 4 tyres and a quick pit stop have dropped him to, must be about 7. There's Gibson with Chivers in the Charger, giving him a hard time.
picking up Fred Gibson in a moment in the works Falcon. He's a fair way down after a moment on
On
that
lap
slippery
22,
first lap.
Fred Gibson rolls his Falcon at
Gibbo's
Philosophy
going.
Park.
And look, he's gone. Gibson's
Oh,
rolled.
look, he's still going. Hey, look, just missed him.
His harness should have saved him from any injury.
The mountain is claiming victims early.
Yes, there he is. He's all right.
He said in Muddy up there, you can't miss out by half an inch. He had the car go round twice, backwards, and then went in, unfortunately, to the bank. Well, the two top drivers like Fred Gibson and Colin Bond can go out. This indicates just how dicey things are. Anybody who's still out there is doing well.
Moffat's spun. He's up a bank at Reed Park, near where Bond went. That's two quick body blows to Ford. Gibson crashes, and now Moffat in trouble. That puts Brock and the Holden Torana into place.
Brock is composed. He threads the Torana through the carnage. The rain doesn't slow
Here's
him.
Moffat and Moore in close company. Moffat still in second, Moore holding down third. Brock safely in first place. Moffat doesn't seem to be gaining on him that much. But the weather's definitely finding up, and once the track dries, the Falcon will cut into the deficit. But Moffat's coming in, and it's not a scheduled stop. He's quite a few laps early. The car might be in trouble. Yes, it's tyres. This is bad luck for team manager Marsden. Gibson gone, and now Moffat in trouble. Moffat's got the capacity to make up the leeway because it doesn't look like a long stop, but it must be galling sitting there while Brock and the other front runners get further ahead.
Alan Moffat, the reigning champion, starts from pole. But the wet track is no friend to the Falcon. He spins at Sulman Park twice. Brake issues emerge, then the penalties. 2 infractions for pit stop violations. The mountain is not
Out he goes
kind
in
to
barely more
favourites.
than a minute and a half, but he's now in 6th. And there's a development.
Alan was under the impression that we had finished and started the car. We immediately stopped the car and then we started again as we had completed the fueling. In other words, no advantage.
There's Harry Firth telling Brock to ease off, and since it's straining the car, Firth obviously thinks Brock can hold his lead through pit stops. Ground up the top, and Alan's nice charger. Pity, he was making up a lot of ground. And now John Goss is in trouble.
We made a wrong decision on tyres. We anticipated that the weather would lift earlier than it has. And so we found ourselves out there in heavy, wet timber, semi-slick tyre. Cost us a lot of time, but we'd recovered from that when we had an engine tightened up and I just had to switch off going up to their straight.
They're bringing Peter Brock in for his first pit stop. It's at 47, and it should take about a minute and a half to change tyres and take on a full load of fuel. He's still holding first. This is where he could lose the lead.
Meanwhile, Brock's drive is clinical. His pit stops are clean, but then a mistake.
Brakes are just getting bedded in. Very nice.
Theo Gagan, who's got up to second, is approaching the bottom of the straight.
He restarts the car during refueling. A breach of the rules, a 1-minute penalty.
Gagan's taken the lead in the Charger, but he shouldn't hold it for long because he's due for a stop. And the Holden dealer team mechanics are working very quickly, so Brock shouldn't lose too much ground. We've had the clock on this one, and it looks as though 1:36. There he goes in second slot. Shivers driving a consistent race, and Holden is in third. French is holding down fourth. And here comes Moffat. He's got the boot down in fifth and climbing back. Gagan has pitted. Brock's back in the lead, but we've just heard that he's also been penalised a minute for a refueling miscue.
Oh, they took us for a minute, but there are circumstances which we feel one of the tags pulled out with the filler, and they put it on, and he started it, and then they made him stop it, they took it off and fixed the tag and then put it back on again, and he started again, so that does not contravene the rules.
Ford will be a lot happier now. That brings Moffat a lot closer. And pit calculations show 3/4 distance. Moffat should be breathing down Brock's neck. All the stops out. Ford pits are keeping him well advised, and he's making up huge amounts of ground with laps approaching records. The Holden dealers team pit will be watching his approach very carefully. The track's drying quickly, and the Falcon can use all its immense horsepower. Brock, however, still has the crucial advantages of better tyre and fuel consumption, and he should be able to fight off the challenge. French has gone into pit for his second stop.
Letting the car down now. Starting the motor up into
A short-lived piece of glory, and time could be against him now because Brock will gain 2 minutes, almost a lap, and French will still have to make another stop. Out he goes in fifth. Now Shivers is in. The stop has dropped him from the third he gained during French's stop. Amazingly, the Charger is banking on one stop, which with consistently fast driving has put it up amongst the leaders, but this stop looks very slow. But out he goes, faced with a long climb back up the placing slip. Moffat's into his second stop. He's got to within 12 seconds of Brock, but the stop will drop him back another 2. So, to be with Brock at the flag, he's going to have to drive even harder. Let's watch this stop, because we understand that after his minute penalty for starting the car's motor during his first call to pits, that officials are going to keep a close eye on him. Mechanics will also keep a close watch on the situation, because any further delay could be fatal to Moffat's chances. Looks like it's going to last stop too. And he's done it. Moffat's gone early. He's fired them for the completion of refueling. An incredible mix-up. It's amazing. This could happen 2 stops in a row. And look, he's got a minute penalty. This will make his task almost impossible now. It puts him at least 3 minutes behind, and he's got to make up in 3 seconds a lap to catch Brock, who is still turning very quick time. Brock coming around again, he's very secure. But he's getting behind too, so it's now a race of tactics. Pit tactics play a big role in the Bathurst 500, but to win a car has to be a definite front runner, and Brock is looking good. Brock will have an advantage though. The stop again should be about a minute and a half, which gives him half a minute over French in time.
How is it, Peter? Going well? No one to call? What's the track like in the show? Still breathing? Bit of rubber around
The lead is strong. He returns to the track, still in front.
And out he goes. Time in the pits, 27. No one's passed him, and with the chasing Falcon still needing a stop, he's in full command with 40 laps to go. Some other drivers won't see out those 40 laps.
The Torana hums steadily. No drama, no misfires, just relentless rhythm.
Gagan in trouble. He's in the pits with electrical problems. His crew's just replaced the battery, but it'll mean a push start, his second of the race. This will mean another minute penalty. So on our calculations, that's to drop Gagan back to around 4th or 5th, behind Shivers, the lead being fought out between Brock and French. There's Brock, the leader, still nicely out in front. French is closing the gap, although he's still got that 1 pit stop down. And here's drama, an unscheduled stop by Moffat. Last time in, he was complaining about the Falcon's brakes. This could be the reason for him bringing the car in so soon. Yes, it looks as though the mechanics are checking out the system. No effort to change tyres. No one's worrying about topping up the fuel tank. I'd say that this stop will develop into a lengthy one. That'll mean the end of the chances of taking the 500 from Brock. He's lost so much time, he'll be lucky to finish first 10. Sad end to a fine effort.
Well, we found something else. This is one of the reasons why we're in motor racing. We found another weak link in the chain. Unfortunately, we've had to find it out in front of a lot of people and all the television viewers. But we now know that we have another problem to solve in the brake area. That's all there is to it.
John French in the Falcon and Doug Chivers in the Charger push hard. French is consistent, but the Falcon is heavy. Chivers is fast, but the Charger's reliability is fragile. Neither can match Brock's pace.
He told him to slow down. No, I haven't told him anything. He knows what to do.
Right. Minute penalty. It doesn't endanger him in any way.
No, not really.
He's that far in front of French.
He's only far enough.
Look at this, the race is just outrun and drama in front of it. He'll be lucky to get around the track there, he has to do that. Regulations say he can't back up. Carter's made it in. Look at that tyre, shredded to pieces, and look at that replacement. Rushing in to get him out on the track again, because Carter has the capacity to finish around about 10. He's driven a sure and steady race. It must be galling to be sitting in the pits like this, with mechanics tearing at the car. And they're hanging at it too. There's no time for niceties now. There's some body work in the road, so mechanics are chopping it off. It's the quickest way. There's a good look at the ruined tyre. The Holden dealers team pit is making certain that Brock realizes that French is in the runner-up slot, and that as long as the purple Falcon doesn't pass him, he's got the 500. There's Carter out again with his body modification.
Over 20 cars retire. Mechanical failures, spins, collisions. The mountain is ruthless, but Brock presses on, lap after lap. With each passing lap, the gap grows. By the final stint, Brock is a full lap ahead. The penalty has been absorbed, the opposition is fading, and the mountain for once is silent. final stop is tense. Just enough fuel, no mistakes. Seconds feel like minutes. Then he's back on track. When the checkered flag drops, it's not just a win, it's a statement. Peter Brock, driving solo, has conquered Bathurst. His first victory, the first for the LJ Torana, and the beginning of a legend. (1972) marked the end of an era. The last 500-mile Bathurst. The last solo drive, and the rise of a new champion. Brock didn't just win, he changed the game. The mountain had spoken, and it said, Brock.